Okay. Last video we talked about the drive system for the robot being a tank treatment kit we got from the local electronics store. They were out of the chassis, which is like a mounting plate with lots of holes drilled in it to accommodate the wheels, mounting brackets and drive system, the motor and gearbox. Jonathan has built a couple of robot chests in the past and has used cutting board. It's cheap, light and inexpensive. The thinnest plate that would suit our track and axle design is about 6mm thick and 100mm wide. This is 4mm thick, so it's 30% less material, excluding the weight of plastic and aluminium. That's 30% lighter. So I think we might as well just use plastic unless anyone has any objections to that. I think what we may need to agree on is a standard for how we're going to mount the track system, how we're going to orient the bed of the robot, whether it's going to be high or low, and whether or not the electronics and drive system is going to go underneath or above the bed. Do we want to discuss that now or later?
Well, we can do it now.
Okay.
I would think it would be better to put the motor underneath. That way you have the maximum height of the ground because you only have the height of that gearbox.
Okay.
Whereas if you have it on top, you've also got the thickness of that into the
So
height.
you've got ground clearance.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we know the steepness of the hill climb yet?
No.
Damn. Because we will need the ground clearance when it comes to the. We'll either need ground clearance or a track that goes like so, which we don't want. We want to have it as completely flat as possible and lengthen it so we get maximum surface area contact on the surface that we're travelling across. That way it gives maximum grip. Do you guys have any ideas for track systems? One thing we did discuss earlier on was that the tracks are hard-ish plastic. They are grippy to an extent, but not super grippy. So we were thinking about putting some silicone tubing or silicone mat or something in there. Do you guys have any ideas for materials that we can use as an extra grip or an extra surface to drive the robot?
Maybe rubber.
Another thing I was thinking of, skate wheels. You can get them in different hardnesses for outdoor and indoor. If you get the softest possible wheel we can and cut it to slivers or battens or whatever, we might be able to. Could be one possible area we can explore. They're about $12 each, $20 each, so for our needs it should be fine.
How would you stick them between the tracks?
I have no idea. Quite frankly, possibly araldite, just some sort of epoxy or glue.
You don't want it to harden the tracks.
Yeah, but also araldite, now that I think about it, is an epoxy resin, so it's very stiff, it doesn't bend, and when it bends it cracks, when it cracks it fails. So we'd probably, if the tracks were still flexible enough to bend, it'd take off, yes, but it might leave its battens. So probably some silicone sealant also as an adhesive property. I've used it to secure wires and parts removal. Plus it's quite flexible. So you're all in agreement, the plastic breadboard from like a $2 shop, the best thing for chassis?
Yeah, of course.
The other pressing question is colour we're going to paint it. Green.
Green.
Should we go green with a metal fleck, bit of a black backing?
Or you give it like army camouflage colours.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, those are tanks. Well, we'll have to wait for Jonathan to get a new breadboard. I'll sort out some aluminium angle. We have to get dimensions. Maybe we can hassle the lecturer, see if we can get that Thank you, gearbox. We'll have to see if we can get the gearbox ahead of time, take some measurements from it, because I don't actually know the height. These wheels extend above the chassis.
The dimensions might be on J-Car's website.
I mean, for the angle brackets, we're gonna what we need to have is. Don't really want to use my assignment papers, but I will anyway. If this is just one long piece of plate, we're going to have a piece of aluminium, smaller than this, obviously cut like so, and it's going to stick onto there. And then the gearbox will sit on top of the plate, and a hole will be drilled through the aluminium angle, and that will act as an axle fastening and holding thing system. Can be seen there. So we need to dimension how high the axle appears out of the gearbox from the bed of the robot bridge that's on. Any other comments, questions, queries?